Hey everybody, welcome to Ink and Ambition, the Building of Crown Comics podcast, episode number 2. So as I said before, this is going to be a very informal conversation with me kind of going over and explaining what's happening. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Brent E. Erwin. I am the creator and founder of Crown Comics. I am also a comic book industry creator. I am currently a retailer in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex with 3 stores called Collected Comics and Games with my business partner here. In the past, I have worked for, I've actually owned my own store previously with other partners in the early 90s. This is how I started. I was a show dealer where I went to shows and set up and sold comics and stuff there before the store opened. After that, I went to work for Diamond Comic Distributors as a sales rep for them. I went from there to work for Acclaim Comics in New York, where I was a marketing coordinator for those guys for a few years until things went the other direction. And then I went to work for Wizard Entertainment as advertising sales manager for Wizard Magazine. So anyway, that's kind of what my history is in the industry. As I told you guys before, this podcast is going to be very informal. I do have a little list of notes that I'm going to kind of go over. I do have a couple of segments that I plan to cover each week. One is going to be called Building Blocks. And with that, I'm just going to kind of go over the stuff that I did to kind of get the company set up and get started. And then once we're past all that stuff, I'll jump into all the stuff that I've done, like we've done this particular week. In regards to Crown and the different projects that we have working on. And then the last one is one called Crowd Surfing, where I'm going to go through and we're going to talk about some really cool crowdfunding campaigns that have caught my eye that I think are very interesting that I just wanted to show you guys and kind of have you take a look at and you might be interested in as well. So we'll jump into it real quick. What's Crown Comics all about? It's a brand new publishing company that I'm putting together because I still have ideas and things that I want to see made into comics. The number one rule for Crown Comics is it has to be fun. If it's not fun, it's not worth me doing. It's not worth my time. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to enjoy publishing again. I want to have fun with it, and I want to do it with all of my friends and the people that I'm really interested in working with. So jumping into what we got going on here, the first thing I wanted to cover, last week we covered, picking your name and your website, your brand, your identity, all that kind of stuff, which is really crucial, and the name of your company. One of the big things that you need to really do after that is when you get ready to set up the structure of your business, you want to determine what type of company you're going to be. Are you going to set this up as a business entity, which you should? Are you going to do it as a sole proprietorship, or are you going to do it as a limited liability corporation, or an LLC? I have decided to set Crown Comics up as an LLC, only because of the structure that's involved with that type of company limits the liabilities that you, as the owner of the company, have should anything go wrong, should you get sued, should you have any issues like that. This will actually protect you in the best way possible. So what you need to do, what I simply did was I Googled and found a company out there that all I've got to do is go in and plug in the information that they need to know about myself, about the company, and then they will submit all of the paperwork that I need to the state of Texas for me. And that process will get rolling, and they'll go ahead and get you your tax ID number. They'll get you all the information that you need to get done to be set up as a limited liability corporation. And then that will involve, they'll also reach out to you as well as going to the government and setting up your identification and information that you need to set up for the IRS and the other companies, other entities within the government. So that's all stuff that I've got in the process. I'll try to find a couple of links to the company that I used below, and I'll try to include them in the show notes when we get ready to get rolling. So that was probably one of my big things that I wanted to kind of cover to start off with. And the second one is setting up your website. That's something that I took a lot of time to do. And when you do that, you want to try to figure out with your website what type of platform that you want to use. There are a ton out there now. There's WordPress, there's Wix, you can build it homegrown if you want, however you want to handle it. I personally am a big fan of WordPress. It's something that I learned how to use and learned how to build websites using that. and it's just a really great structure. It's really sound. I think they said something on the neighborhood of like 80% of the websites out there are built on WordPress. They have a ton of plugins. They have a ton of little widgets and things that you can do to customize the look. There's a million different templates out there that you can use. So what I did is, with my particular host that I use, they offered a instant WordPress install. So basically all I had to do was log into my control panel. Once my hosting is all set up, and I tell them what I'm wanting to do, which you can do all through, with the host through the control panel. Once I get in there, I click the WordPress instant install, and within 5 minutes, the actual basic structure of the website is set up. And from that point forward, once you have the basic structure of the website, what you need to do is you're going to have to go in and customize everything that you want. I went out and searched for a particular template that I liked, that I thought fit what I wanted to do with the publishing end of the company. It's really not that hard. I mean, there's a billion tutorials out there for everything from YouTube to what you can Google and find on the WordPress website itself. Once you get your template installed, then you can go through, and they're super customizable. You can adjust the colors and the fonts and the size of the letters. You can do everything, links and the colors. I mean, everything you could possibly want to do, so that you can make that particular website that you're designing for your company match your brand and your identity that you're wanting to create. So I'd highly recommend, like I said, WordPress is one of my absolute favorites. It's one that I've used. I've used Wix before. It's okay. It's fun. It's a good product, but I'm much more familiar with WordPress. And back in the day when I first did it, I had to learn how to do a lot of coding and stuff with it as well. So I know a lot of little things that I need to do in order to make a WordPress website work for the way that I want it to work. If you want to check it out, go to Crown Comics, that's CROWNCOMIC.com, and you can see the website that I've currently built. I've got podcasts are being hosted there. I've got forums set up. Basically, I set it up exactly the way that I want to have a store there already. So you can really customize this however you want it to make the site look and feel as professional and as on brand as you want it to be for what you're creating. So that was a big thing, was getting that structure and everything set up. The thing, let's see here, I'm just double checking my notes here. So get your structure. Once you get the install done, one of the things that I did was sit down and basically took either a notepad or just do it in Word, wherever you're comfortable doing it. And what you want to do is you want to sit down and you want to basically build an outline for your website structure. So if are you going to do digital comics? Are you going to do web comics? Are you going to have a store? Are you going to have forums? Are you going to do media and podcasts? You need to basically figure out what the page structure is going to be. If it's going to be a blog, where your news will be, and you're going to create a page essentially for every one of these things. And I found it best to sit down and, just like when you start writing, to build an outline of what the structure of your site is going to be, so that way you can follow step by step and you can build each thing as you go along. You're less likely to forget something at that point. I also highly recommend too that if you have Excel or you have Google Sheets or something like that, create a spreadsheet, put all of your information that you're going to need to remember in there. Make a tab for social media and put your social media links, your logins, everything you're going to need to know, because you are going to refer back to that stuff so many times for every single step of that website that you're going to build, from the website structure to having to put social links in, to just basically a ton of the plugins use a lot of this information. And believe me, it's going to be super handy to have all that ready. So work on your outline, build a structure for your website, know what pages and things that you're going to want to include in it. And then as you're going along, build a spreadsheet out. Make sure that you put all that information in there. So when it comes down to it, and you need to find, well, what's my YouTube page link? Oh crap, now I gotta go find that out. So pretty simple. Just go and try to find that stuff out real quick. And that's going to help you out an awful lot. To the best, what I could recommend the best. Next up, I guess the other thing I want to cover after covering those 3 points is what did I do this week? So to kind of get you caught up with what I worked on this week more than anything else, it was a pretty busy week at the store, so I had to work in the evenings and on the weekends. So what I did get done was I installed a WordPress plugin called Seriously Simple Podcasting. And what that does is that allows me to have be able to upload my podcasts directly to the Crown Comics website so that I can actually have them hosted there. What I'm doing is uploading the video to YouTube, and I'm taking, when I go in to edit this, I'm splitting and creating one file that is the video audio file combined, and then I'm doing one file that's just the audio file so that I can have both of those. And I'm uploading the audio only file as the podcast so that it'll go out to all the different podcast locations like iTunes, Apple Podcast, Spotify, things like that. That'll be the audio version. And then I'm going to include a link to the YouTube version on that podcast page as well too. So with this plugin, it lets me go ahead and upload all of that and get it out into the RSS feed so that it can go out to where it needs to go. And then it'll basically be featured on the website as well too, so people can come there and take a look at it. So that's kind of what I worked on this week. Let's jump into crowdfunding, and I will show you guys. I basically have about 3 different things I want to talk about this week. So let me hop over and switch over to this new screen here. There we go. So this week, one of the first things I'm going to take a look at is the new BLOODSHOT anthology series, Black, White, and Bloodshot. They are currently seeking $3,000 in investment. They currently have 18,740, 288 backers, and 11 days left to go. The reason I'm going over and talking about this particular one is because I worked for Valient. I mean, come on, I love their characters. I also have friends of mine, Kevin Van Hook, who is a creator, wrote Bloodshot, is writing one of the stories in this. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let me also just say too that full disclosure, I don't back every single podcast that I see. I can't afford it. Nobody can. But what we can do is if we do see something that we like, we can show other people. We can post links to it on social media and let other folks see what it is that we're enjoying out there. And maybe they'll find something that they like as well too. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and play this real quick and we'll see what you think.
In a black and white world, we all bleed red. Meet Bloodshot, the world's deadliest assassin. A super soldier, engineered to kill and never be killed. All issues by the world's top creators. Each tale deeply explores Bloodshot's psyche, tackling themes of identity, justice, and sacrifice in worlds saturated with black, white, and blood-red shades. Back this project today and access to content that won't be available anywhere else. Own original content, rare covers, and even an original illustration. Black, White, and Bloodshot. Only on Kickstarter.
All right, cool. So there's the Kickstarter. Like I said, if you want to take a look at it, artwork looks really awesome. They got some great stuff going. These covers are great. So feel free to come check these out. I'll put a link in the description of the podcast letting you kind of know what's going on. Take a look at that. It's so cool. Some really fun stuff going on here. So like I said, check it out. This is Alien Books. They're the ones that currently, I believe, are doing the relaunch for all the new Valiant characters. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of cool stretch goal, or not stretch goals, but campaign tiers that are available for everybody to check out. There's the digital books and bundle, which is running about $20. So there's some fun stuff here. So be sure and check it out. That is the Bloodshot Kickstarter coming from Alien Books. So let's give that one a look, guys. I think you might enjoy it. Support them if you can. If not, feel free. Just put it on social media. Let people know about it. So the next one that I have up is one by a very good friend of mine, Charlie McElvy. He is doing a new book called American YAKUZA. And it's the story of basically an MMA fighter who has started a company with a friend of his, and then his friend gets killed in Japan, and he has to go and it becomes a murder mystery that he ends up having to solve. So let me play this for you. So Charlie is looking for $3,500 for his pledge goal. He's at 2786 with 91 backers and 19 days still to go. So let's take a look at what Charlie's video. Cool. So again, there's that is Charlie's Kickstarter. If you guys want to check it out, he's got a ton of information up here. Amazing cover. It is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, guys. Wow. Some more interior shots from the book. Like I said, if you feel like supporting guys, if you can, go for it. If this sounds like a book that you might be interested in. Charlie's got a whole bunch of great tiers. One thing he did that I absolutely love is he has the Act 2 digital edition for only $5. So you can back this book and get a digital copy of it for only $5, which is absolutely fantastic. And then you can, he's got such great goals. There's $10, $10 tier. I mean, I love it when people, you know, think they do the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20, and so on, different tiers, so that you can pick the one that works best for you. But check out some of these covers and some of this interior artwork that Charlie's got going. It looks great. So if you can, like I said, give it a like, give it a share, let people know about it. So let's jump to the next one. This will be the last one that I'm going to talk about. This one is actually over on BACKERIT, which is right here. He doesn't have a video up for this particular one, but this one is called Moonlight Galactica. It's a really fun, it's basically a sci-fi story about this young lady who is part of this intergalactic organization, and she goes out chasing rogue AIs and just all kinds of cool stuff. But just look at some of the art in this book. It absolutely looks gorgeous, okay? Let me go back up. I forgot to mention. He's looking for $5,000 goal. He's at $2,535 or $2,535 with 70 backers, and there are 4 days left in this Kickstarter. So if you can do anything to help promote it, let's see what we can do. I'm going to make a social media post about it as well. But just some of these covers just look fantastic. Look at that. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I'm a sucker for good art. I'm telling you, it's like just beautiful, beautiful work. So like I said, if you get a chance and any of these look really good, go ahead and give them a like, give them a share. And really, guys, I think that is pretty much about what I've got to say this week in the podcast. I will have some more stuff to go over next week. I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into some more stuff that I've worked on the last few weeks about getting the website built, and then we'll jump into some of the creators. I'm hoping to get one of the guys that's going to be involved, because I have a nice group of folks ready to go. for the first project that we're going to work on, which is our first anthology called it's Saturday Morning Comics. And it's basically our take of creating our own Saturday morning cartoon show, but in comic book form, what we would have created. And I'd love to get some of the guys to talk about their projects on here pretty soon. So that's really about it. Thank you guys for joining me again this week. Again, I'm hoping to keep these things right around 20 to 30 minutes, so they're not too long, but still easily digestible. So thank you guys again. I certainly appreciate all of you guys coming by and joining me for the podcast again this week, and I will see you next week. Thank you.